Choke jobs, they happen, and every NFL team deals with it. So here are some of the worst for each NFL team.
He's in! Patriots win the Super Bowl! What a comeback!
For every NFL team, there's one painful loss that especially stands out from the others. It's called a choke job. A game that was in the bag until it wasn't. We've compiled the worst choke jobs in each NFL team's history. But before we get started, a big shout out to Oliver's Edits for suggesting this video. Arizona Cardinals, Super Bowl 43. Trailing 20-7 midway through the fourth quarter of Super Bowl 43, the Cardinals stormed back against the Pittsburgh Steelers. A safety and 2 Larry Fitzgerald touchdowns put Arizona up by 3 with 2.5 minutes to go. But the Cardinals defense imploded at the worst time. Santonio Holmes' 40-yard catch set up his historic tiptoe game-winning TD in the back of the end zone, ending the Cards' hopes at capturing their first ever Super Bowl. Atlanta Falcons, Super Bowl 51. Easily the most obvious entry on this list. How do you hold a 25-point lead midway through the third quarter of the Super Bowl, then allow 31 unanswered points and lose in overtime? The Falcons still haven't recovered from this epic collapse. Baltimore Ravens, 2011 AFC Championship game. Baltimore trailed the New England Patriots 23-20 in the final seconds of the 2011 AFC title game. With 24 seconds left, Lee Evans dropped a game-winning touchdown pass. 2 plays later, the usually reliable Billy Cundiff missed a potential game-tying 32-yarder. Baltimore simply handed New England the AFC Championship banner on a silver plate. Buffalo Bills, Music City Miracle. The Bills were seemingly on their way to the 1999 AFC Divisional Round. Steve Christie booted a go-ahead field goal with 16 seconds left to silence the Tennessee Titans and their fans. The Bills were up by 1, and only a miracle would prevent them from advancing. A miracle, you say? Carolina Panthers 2019 season collapse. After an 0-2 start, the Panthers turned to Kyle Allen, who replaced an injured Cam Newton. Carolina won 4 straight in 5 of their next 6 games. And then that was it. The Panthers lost their remaining 8 games. 5 of them were blowouts.
He wants to show he hasn't turned the football over today.
To the end zone, it's picked off!
I jinxed him.
You jinxed him, Rondé.
Head coach Ron Rivera was canned with 4 games to go, and the team released franchise icon Cam Newton after 9 seasons. Chicago Bears, 1987 NFC Divisional Round. The Bears were 4.5-point favorites in their 1987 NFC Divisional Round tilt against Washington. They jumped out to a 14-0 lead and seemingly had the game on ice. But Doug Williams outplayed Jim McMahon, who took 5 sacks and threw 3 picks. Williams and running back Timmy Smith guided Washington to 21 unanswered points, and they escaped Soldier Field with a 21-17 victory. Cincinnati Bengals, 2015 AFC Wildcard Round. The Bengals were on the cusp of winning their first playoff game since 1990, leading 16-15 with 1.5 minutes to go. Bengals running back Jeremy Hill fumbled with the game virtually in the bag. The Steelers marched down the field, and costly unnecessary roughness and unsportsmanlike conduct penalties by Vontaze Burfict and Adam Jones respectively set up Chris Boswell's game-winning field goal. What a way to keep your playoff victory drought going. Cleveland Browns, 1986 AFC Championship game. The Browns were oh so close to reaching their first ever Super Bowl. They led John Elway's Denver Broncos by 7 with 5.5 minutes to go. The visitors were backed up at their own 2-yard line, but Elway took his team on a 15-play 98-yard drive, which was capped off by a Mark Jackson game-tying score with 37 seconds left. The game went to overtime, and the Broncos forced a Cleveland punt before Rich Karlis kicked the game-winning 33-yarder. The Browns had it in the bag, but they couldn't get a stop. Then they couldn't finish it in overtime. Sadly, this was as close as the franchise has gotten to a Super Bowl. Dallas Cowboys, Tony Romo's botch snap. The Cowboys were on the verge of upsetting the defending NFC champion Seattle Seahawks in the wildcard round. In Tony Romo's first season as a starter, head coach Bill Parcells made the decision to have Romo hold the snap for Martin Gramatica's go-ahead 29-yard field goal attempt. And the rest is history. Denver Broncos, the mile-high miracle game. What else could it be? With 31 seconds left, Ravens quarterback Joe Flacco heaved a desperate deep ball to Jacoby Jones. The Broncos blew the coverage and let Jones cruise his way into the end zone. In overtime, Corey Graham picked off Peyton Manning in Denver territory, and Baltimore capitalized on the opportunity, with Justin Tucker booting the game-winning 47-yarder to send the Ravens to the AFC title game. Detroit Lions, 2013 second-half meltdown. Aaron Rodgers missed 7 games with a collarbone fracture. and the Green Bay Packers struggled a big time without him. That allowed the Lions to take advantage of a weak NFC North, and they stood at 6-3 through Week 10. But they lost 6 of their final 7 games, with 4 of those losses by 3 points or less. Horrible late-game management cost the Lions as they finished 7-9 and watched the 8-7-1 Packers steal the division. Green Bay Packers 2014 NFC Championship game. The Packers led the Seattle Seahawks 19-7 with just over 2 minutes left in the NFC title game. Russell Wilson's 1-yard rushing TD cut the lead to 5. Then Brandon Bostic fumbled the onside kick, allowing Seattle to recover. Marshawn Lynch scored the go-ahead touchdown. The Packers did manage to send the game to overtime, but the Seahawks had the momentum, and Russell Wilson took advantage with this game-winning bomb to Jermaine Kearse. Houston Texans 2019 AFC Divisional Round. The Texans stormed out to a shocking 24-0 lead against Patrick Mahomes' Kansas City Chiefs in the 2019 AFC Divisional Round. Houston looked poised to reach their first ever AFC Championship game. You know the rest. Mahomes' magic, Bill O'Brien's ill-advised fake punt call, and KC going from getting blown out to blowing out Houston 51-31. Indianapolis Colts, Super Bowl III. Most NFL fans and pundits thought Joe Namath was crazy when he guaranteed that his New York Jets would stun the Baltimore Colts in Super Bowl III. Well, the Jets defense completely destroyed the Johnny Unitas Earl Morrale-led Colts offense. Baltimore, who averaged 28.7 points per game in the regular season, could only muster 7, and the Jets shocked the 18-point favorites by a final score of 16-7. Jacksonville Jaguars 2017 AFC Championship game. The Jaguars led 20-10 early in the fourth quarter. Their offense was shut down the rest of the way, and they had no answer for Tom Brady, who found Danny Amendola for 2 touchdowns to put the Pats up by 4. The Patriots forced Blake Bortles to turn the ball over on downs, and the Jaguars' stingy defense couldn't make one last stop. Kansas City Chiefs 2013 AFC Wildcard Round meltdown. A Niall Davis touchdown put the Chiefs up 38-10 early in the third quarter, but Kansas City's offense could only muster 2 field goals the rest of the way, and Andrew Luck led the Colts on an epic comeback for the ages. The Colts put up 21 points in the third to inch closer. Then Luck found T.Y. Hilton for the game-winning 64-yard touchdown with 4:21 left. Las Vegas Raiders, the Tuck Rule game. Yeah, the Raiders probably got robbed with the controversial Tuck Rule call, but guys, let's not forget the basics. This team had a 10-point fourth quarter lead in the miserable Foxborough snow. We all know what happened. Tom Brady began the comeback with a 6-yard touchdown run. The Raiders couldn't convert a 3rd and 1 before the 2-minute warning to ice the game. Then the Tuck Rule happened, and Adam Vinatieri booted the game-tying 45-yarder in the blizzard. Then comes OT, where Vinatieri wins with a 23-yard field goal. Los Angeles Chargers 2006 AFC Divisional Round. Led by MVP LaDainian Tomlinson, the Chargers posted the NFL's best regular season record at 14-2. They looked poised to at least make the Super Bowl until the Chargers, well, charged it up. Up by 8 and just over 6 minutes left, Marlon McCree intercepted Tom Brady, only to fumble it back to the Pats. New England took advantage of the second chance and went on to score 11 unanswered points. Nate Kading missed the game-tying 54-yarder attempt that would have forced overtime. Los Angeles Rams, Super Bowl 36. The Rams were 14-point favorites against the Pats, but Kurt Warner and the greatest show on turf struggled for most of the game, committing 3 turnovers in the contest. Warner found Ricky Prohl for the game-tying touchdown with 90 seconds on the clock, but the Rams had no answer for Brady, who pieced together a clutch drive for the ages, allowing Adam Vinatieri to play hero. Miami Dolphins 1994 AFC Divisional Round loss. Don Shula's Dolphins led the Chargers 21-6 in the 1994 AFC Divisional Round, but the offense couldn't muster any second-half points, and their defense had no answer for Stan Humphries and the Chargers offense, who rallied for 16 unanswered second-half points. Miami's collapse ended in dramatic fashion when Pete Stoyanovich missed a game-winning 48-yarder in the final seconds to help the Chargers escape from the jaws of defeat. Minnesota Vikings 1998 NFC Championship game. 15 wins, a record-setting offense. Kicker Gary Anderson hadn't missed a field goal or extra point all year, so nothing can go wrong here, right? Well, we all know what happened. Anderson missed a 38-yarder before the 2-minute warning that would have put the game away. The Falcons proceeded to march down the field and tie the game with 49 seconds left. Morton Anderson then added to Minnie's misery by kicking the game-winning 38-yarder in overtime. New England Patriots, Super Bowl 42. What more can we say? The Patriots were just minutes away from being the first 19-0 team in NFL history, and they were playing the wild-card New York Giants. What could possibly go wrong? Well, there was the helmet catch, followed by a Plaxico Burress go-ahead touchdown with 35 seconds remaining. And before you knew it, 19-0 had become 18-1. So sad. New Orleans Saints, the Minneapolis Miracle. This one doesn't need much of an explanation at all. Like the Bills in the Music City Miracle game, New Orleans defense just had to hold off a miracle play in order to reach the 2017 NFC Championship game. Or not. New York Giants, the unraveling in San Francisco. Kerry Collins and the Giants stormed out to a seemingly insurmountable 38-14 lead late in the third quarter against the San Francisco 49ers in the 2002 NFC wildcard round. But the Giants' defense collapsed entirely, and the offense couldn't muster another point. The 49ers reeled off 25 unanswered points to take a 39-38 lead, and the Giants' choke job ended in controversial fashion. Pass interference or not, there's no excuse for blowing a 24-point third quarter lead. None. New York Jets, 1986 AFC Divisional Round. The Jets led the Browns by 10 points with just over 4 minutes remaining. Kevin Mack scored a 1-yard rushing TD to cut the lead to 3 after the 2-minute warning. The Jets recovered the onside kick, but went 3 and out. Cleveland was aided by a 26-yard defensive PI call on Carl Howard that set up the game-tying field goal. And with that, overtime was needed. The Browns went on to win a 27-yard field goal from Mark Mosley. Philadelphia Eagles, 2003 NFC Championship game. The 03 Eagles look poised to reach the Super Bowl for the first time in the Andy Reid era. All they had to do was put the brakes on a red-hot Carolina team. But Donovan McNabb and the Eagles put up a stinker on offense in a stunning 14-3 home loss to Carolina. Pittsburgh Steelers, 2018 late season collapse. After a sluggish 1-2-1 start, the Steelers rebounded with 6 straight wins to move to 7-2-1. The AFC North was in their hands, and a first-round bye was very much up for grabs. But the Steelers lost 4 of their final 6 games, missing the postseason entirely. It's a big yikes. San Francisco 49ers, Super Bowl 54. The 49ers held a 4-point lead with 7 minutes remaining in Super Bowl 54. The Lombardi Trophy should have been in the bag, right? Nope. The 49ers let Tyreek Hill get wide open on a key 3rd and 15 play, and the Chiefs reeled off 21 unanswered points, stealing the Super Bowl from San Fran by a score of 31-20. Seattle Seahawks, Super Bowl 49. The Seahawks were literally half a yard away from repeating as Super Bowl champions. All they had to do was hand the ball to Marshawn Lynch, but they didn't, and this happened. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 2003 Monday Night Meltdown. Tampa led the Colts 35-14 with under 4 minutes to go. Indianapolis scored 2 quick touchdowns. And with 35 seconds left, Ricky Williams scored the game-tying touchdown. Mike Vanderjagt missed the game-winning 40-yarder in overtime. However, Simeon Rice of the Bucs was flagged for leaping. Vanderjagt got another shot, and he made good on it, completing the Bucs' choke job. Tennessee Titans, the comeback. Come on, what else was it going to be? The Houston Oilers had a 35-3 lead over the Bills in the 1992 AFC wildcard round. And as you all know, it was the Bills who won 41-38. It's still the biggest comeback in NFL history. Choke jobs don't get much worse than this. Washington football team, Super Bowl 18. After one of the most dominant regular seasons in NFL history, Washington was a 3-point favorite over the Raiders in Super Bowl 18. But they certainly didn't look like the better team, turning the ball over 3 times and recording just 283 yards of offense. They had no answer for Marcus Allen, who rushed for 191 yards and 2 touchdowns in a 38-9 blowout Raider win. What do you think is the biggest choke job in NFL history? Join me in the comment section below. Make sure to follow myself and TPS on social media. We post great content all the time. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, run everything. Go subscribe, go follow. If you like this video, give it a like. It takes 1 click down below and subscribe to TPS. We post videos every day. Every day's a new video. Of course, thank you so much for watching. I'm Jason Biondo. I'll see you next time.
On my knee.